Hello everyone. I'm out today after we got down into the high 30s last night. So today I'm going to pull my tomato plants and my pepper plants, but I'm going to try to pull them without having to remove any of the waste from the garden, assuming that everything goes to plan. You can also tell when the weather is dropped because I have now switched to my fall/winter hat. So let me show you the plants that I'm going to pull today and then we will get started. This is where we are going to be working today. So I have 3 7-gallon grow bags that have 3 different pepper plants in them. I'm going to harvest any fruit remaining, both peppers and tomatoes, red, green, whatever color they might be, and bring them inside, and those will be the last ones of this season. And then behind the peppers are the 2 indeterminate tomato plants that I will also be pulling. Those are in 30-gallon grow bags, which stay outside. The 7-gallon grow bags I actually use for insulation, which is why I'm going to be leaving the root balls in them. I'm actually going to be leaving the root balls in all of these bags, and I'll explain more about why I'm doing that as we work through this. As for my necessary equipment, I have my gloves, my pruners, and the basket. I also need a bucket for the plant waste, so I'll probably use that. First thing we're going to do is wheel the raspberry bush out of the way so I don't get stabbed. And this is why I love having it on wheels, because if not, I would have to try to pick it up and then probably just stab myself in the face. First things first, I'm taking off all the peppers, no matter how small. Now, I did harvest about a week ago, so there's probably not too many left. But even if they are still super small, I can blend them into a sauce or still use them for something. Is that the only pepper? I might find more as I'm trimming these down. Nope, there are 2 right in front of my face. Let's harvest you and you. Now we are going to chop up the pepper plants, and I'm going to put the pepper plants into this bucket, and we're going to do the chop and drop. So my pepper plants don't have any disease issues, and any plants that are healthy, assuming I have space for them, I try to just chop and drop. I do think next year I'm going to get a tumbler composter for out on this deck as well, but I'm just going to drop it into the 30-gallon grow bags. And again, this is the 2nd or 3rd winter that I've done that, and they just break down over winter and help to feed the soil. So let's go ahead and chop these down. It's bittersweet, but I am ready. And I'm not doing like super small chunks. I mean, maybe cutting off some of the leaves and then the stems a little bit, but I'm surprised at how much actually does break down here over the winter, even just the grow bags. Let's see if we can get the cage out. Nope, not yet. Gotta trim some more. Leave some branches in the tomato plants. Any hidden peppers? Oh, yes! That's a pretty good size. You go in there. The rest of you are getting chopped. Now let's see if we can get the cage out. Pretty good. These are my most used size cages. They are 19 inches. I've only been able to find them at Home Depot. Other 19-inch cages that I've tried to get on Amazon just aren't as good of quality. So I have at least probably 20 of these in the garden. I'm gonna pick up any of the other leaves. I'm turning off this irrigation nozzle, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then I'm chopping the stalk just a few inches above where the dirt is in the grow bag. We have 1 plant down. I'm going to do the exact same process with the other 2 pepper plants, so I'll speed through that, and then we will get to work on the tomatoes. Pepper plants are all pulled, and this center grow bag here I already had emptied out because I think it was the powdery mildew covered zinnias in here. So now I'm just going to empty that bucket into there. moving on now to the tomatoes, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So first I'm gonna harvest all the fruit, red and green, and then we'll do the chop and drop. Unless there are any, some of these do have brown spots on them, so those I will not be keeping. Now I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do with the green tomatoes yet, so if you have any ideas, let me know. I saw someone mention maybe making some sort of powder. I don't know if it's to freeze dry them or what they did, but I'll have to look up some uses for these green tomatoes. And you know what, just to get to the tomatoes easier, as I'm emptying off these branches, I'm gonna do an initial chop in here. So maybe with this one, I'll go more back and forth since there's a lot more fruit and they are smaller and further back into the plant. Two 30-gallon grow bags down. The last one to go. I have in here the lemon everleaf basil. I'm looking at it. I don't think any of the leaves on it are good enough to save. Basil is an herb that likes it very warm, so it has not handled the drop in temperatures very well. So where did I put my pruners? Oh, right behind me. All right, basil out first, and now we chop. This is definitely a sign that the season is very close to being over. So the 3 30-gallon grow bags will stay out here. I know it looks like there's a lot of greenery in there right now. I promise you, it does for the most part break down over winter. And there are also the root balls of the tomato plants in there that are so easy to pull once it's springtime because so many of the roots break down as well. They just pop out. I think I did 2 years of pulling the tomato plants out of these bags before I was like, let's just leave them till spring and see what happens. And it is fantastic. Now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to replace these grow bags next year. I had them for, well, I got them in 2019. They've stayed outside every winter. So that's what we're working with right now. I know they have that like white stuff on the bottom. I don't know if that's mildew. My other grow bags get that too sometimes. But if I do that, it will be in spring and I'll just open up the same size new bag next to it and then transfer the soil and then probably add some new one to it. But this is what it looks like for now. And let me come over here. These are the 3 pepper plants. Again, I'm leaving the root ball in there, easier to pull in spring. And then because there's soil in these grow bags, I'll use them as insulation either in the plastic greenhouse that I'm gonna set up on the back deck or on this deck with the plants that I push over there in the corner. I told you I love these cages. I despise these silver cages, also from Home Depot. I've had them for a while. They are not stable at all. I mean, if a tomato cage can't hold up an indeterminate tomato plant, it's probably not a great tomato cage. I'm gonna save them because I have some other ideas for potential uses, but I don't like them for holding up tomatoes. So I need to get new tomato cages for next year. I think that's everything. I'm gonna get this stuff into place and then that's it. Oh, also, see that sunflower mess there and that sunflower mess there? I didn't do that. I didn't take those sunflower heads and leave them over there for the birds. So they either got them from those 3 or Bob. Bob is, I think, gonna come down before winter. These 3 will stay up. But the only birds I've really seen over there are sometimes the pigeons, but mostly sparrows. And I don't know if sparrows can carry whole heads of sunflowers. I don't know. I'm hoping a squirrel hasn't found its way up here because I haven't had to deal with that yet, but let me know if you think there is a type of bird that can do that. So here's what we have. First on the table, dahlia stalks that I was trying to use to help support. Oh, look, our friends are here. Hello, Stevie. But I was using these dahlia stalks from last year to try to support the tomato plants when the cages were failing. I am saving these though because I'm going to attempt to do a special winter project with them. This is what I got from the plants that I just pulled. Not too bad. Again, let me know if you have any ideas of what to do with those green tomatoes. Back here is where I kind of hide everything I'm not using. So I have the 3 grow bags with the pepper plant root balls in them. They are stacked up on top of a pot just so the grow bag isn't sitting directly onto the wooden deck. All my cages are here, and this is the first time I've put pots on the top of them because many a time I've almost stabbed myself in the eye with one of the legs of the cages. So I don't know if everyone's been doing this and I just missed the memo, but now I have those on top so I won't stab myself in the face. And then coming behind the flowers, over here is where I have the plant lifts that were underneath the 7-gallon grow bag. So those stay outside. I will be bringing in the terracotta pot once I empty out my herbs and wash all the pots, but I think everything else here will stay outside. How we doing? Are you having a good afternoon? Where is your friend? I mean, I'm your friend, but where's Oreo? I'm trying to figure out the, bird couples. Oh, I've never been able to see where they go when they fly down there. So that's everything for this video. I will kind of show you as I'm out here doing some more garden cleanup throughout the rest of the season, how those break down. I'm probably gonna get some more potting soil because I need some for the bulbs I'm gonna pot up, and I might like put a little layer on top of that, on top of the greenery in those 3 grow bags. But that's pretty much it. So the irrigation's turned off in those 3 bags. I will say, once like irrigation is completely off, oh, there's birds on the sunflower, we'll go take a look at them in a second. Once the irrigation is completely off, I do then go around and reopen all of the emitters just so that any water that's in there can drip out. I don't blow out my system. I don't think it's large enough of a tube for that to be necessary, and I haven't done it since 2020, 2021, whenever I got them, so I don't think it's necessary. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. See, I feel like that bird is too small to have taken the head off of the sunflower and brought it all the way over here, but maybe I'm wrong. Bye-bye.